Dino, recently a story came out in which they're basically claiming that you're saying that Meshuggah was stealing your riffs, that such and such bands are stealing your riffs. And why don't we clarify what you were saying, because that way they can see it and hear it, and not just read it or a headline that might not make sense. But listen, just get it out of your mouth the way it should be. You know what I mean?
I think that I don't know if anybody out there has heard of the term clickbait. I happen to be a victim of clickbait, and clickbait is where a website takes a headline, actually changes a quote, and makes the headline more appealing for someone to go and click on their site, so they can generate more traffic. That way they can obviously sell ad space. So sometimes those headlines are not exactly what the artist said. They like to twist the words around, whatever. I never actually used the words that anybody ripped me off. I'm good friends with the guys in Korn, Cold Chamber and Meshuggah. That was not my point at all. My point was how, from the stuff that influenced us, like I said earlier, Helmet. I went to go see Helmet play one day. The next day I wrote Scapegoat. Boom. That was the evolution of that style. And then, obviously, other bands might have heard that. Obviously, there's a connection between us and Korn because Ross Robinson produced both of our albums, or our early demo in 1991, and then 4 or 5 years later did Korn. But I'm just saying that, Scapegoat and then Korn had a song called Blind, and the riff was very similar. It was a very similar vibe. And then we had a song called Suffrage, which the intro was kind of like inspired by Godflesh, and then obviously we did it, and then obviously there was a similar riff in Korn, and there was a similar riff in Meshuggah. I'm just talking about the evolution of the riff and how where that style went. That's all I was claiming. I wasn't saying anybody ripped anybody off. It's just that the evolution of how the riff grows and how other people are still doing it today, which I think is really cool. I don't think that we were the first ones to do it. Definitely not. So
there we go, clear as water. And yeah, everybody influences each other. I mean, obviously, unless you're not listening to music that's out there, unless you're just locking yourself in your room and not listening to anything, which is impossible to do.
Yeah. So also I want to say that everybody out there, like when they read headlines on their favorite metal sites, just keep in mind that read past the headlines. Like go and read the full interview, or listen to the full podcast, or watch the full interview video. So that way you can actually interpret, what I said or whoever said, in more of an honest form than actually how the headline reads. So, there you go.
Cool.
Fear Factory, Genexus, available August 7th, 2015.